Welcome.
Hello.
We've made it to the middle of the week.
Oh, yes, we did. I'm enjoying this actually. Like the streams on Wednesdays, they feel good. Feels like I think my problem with Thursday is that I just think that Thursday is like on the other side of the week.
Yeah,
So you're kind of like, oh
you're
shit,
over
the
it.
week is over. And like I just panic. I'm like, oh no, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, this is like a good indication of like, okay, this is the defining moment of the week. Once Cringe-Fluencers airs, now you can relax for the next 2.5 days. That's a good way to
Yeah.
think about it.
Exactly, exactly. And if we don't make it,
If we
I
don't
just
make it,
never relax
yeah,
at all.
just never have a relaxing moment for the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, today we have so many things on the
yeah,
list to
but
talk about.
first, we need to talk about. You've added some accoutrement to your background. Are you becoming a beauty
Yes.
blogger? Beauty vlogger?
So I took some inspiration from Kim Kardashian's cement tissue box. And I decided to come up with my own super expensive microphone decoration. Ta-da!
Looks good. It looks good. It's much better back there than here, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I
I'm
figured, you
teasing.
know what? It's too pretty to
Yeah.
use it. So yeah, but hopefully at some point in the near future, you guys will get good sound from me too, not just from Kayla. So that's
You
the
got good
plan.
sound, but this is, an investment for sure. So
Yeah. Oh my God. Tell me about it. It's not even that the microphone, I mean, it is expensive. The microphone is expensive itself, but it's not even
yes.
just that. It's that you need 100 things around
Yeah.
it.
I learned
You
that
need,
quickly.
yeah, I was shocked. I was like looking at videos online, be like, can I use this microphone without this? And there
No.
is nothing.
You need a cord, you need a special cord, an XLR cord, you need an interface, so something to plug the cord into. You need another cord to plug into your computer from the interface. And then you need a preamp, which is like I don't even know why or what it does, but it like connects everything together also, and it like gives you more sound, and that's like $100. So by the time you're
Yeah.
done, you're $1,000 in. I'm not even over exaggerating, just for the sound.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I had to like pocket this. And I also went fucking insane because I couldn't believe that I filmed something and it was all out of focus and I got mad. And I've been wanting to upgrade my camera for so long. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna,
It's
but
time.
I was so nervous. I've never spent this much money in one day. Like, this was insanity.
Well, for me, at least, I can write it off because I have my LLC and it's video related. So, I instead of paying the government that money, I pay, I'm buying equipment. So I can kind of like, go, all right, it sucks still because it still comes out of my pocket. But at least at the end of the year, it's less. So that's how I
Yeah.
justify it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do that too. I also have an LLC. Oh my God, it's just this is set up on my previous address is called. It's a
Oh,
mess.
God.
How am I gonna untangle this? Like, I think it's gonna take me years. Um,
Untangling the web of insurance and taxes and paperwork. Yeah, we feel that.
yeah, yeah, that would be fun. And I actually have to do it soon because like the deadline is January and it's we're close to November. So
It's crazy.
yeah, but at least less tax. I don't think I'm gonna really get to pay any taxes. I will not make that much money on YouTube. But
That's good.
hopefully this will make it so that it doesn't go over the edge, which is good.
Good. I'm a little laggy. Speaking of all these technology, how great our technology and expensive it is, I'm like slow mo right now. I don't know why.
I don't
Whatever.
think it's us. I think it's Ecamp's fault.
Probably. Definitely. It's probably my internet.
Blame
Every day it's like an
blame
internet issue.
everyone else.
It's probably my team. My team behind this. You guys suck. You all suck. You're
Yeah.
fired. Carol's like,
The team idiots.
the team idiots. Maybe if I switch. Maybe if I switch views. What would you like to start with, Cam? These are your selections today. Cam decided, she's like, I'm overtaking the show it's me. I'm the leader here. I'm the captain now. What would you like to start with, Cam?
So okay, I'm also distracted because the ecam thing is behind for some reason. Can
So
you guys
bad.
hear us? Is it all okay? Did we get taken down or
Oh my
something?
God,
What's going
probably.
on?
Let's see. Let's check. Let's check in. Let's check in with YouTube for a moment. It probably is just my internet. I have like, I think they fix it during the day or they reset stuff during the day or something. I don't know, because whenever I'm here at night, it's wonderful. And then during the day, it's like, dial up. Yeah, I can't even open like a web page. It's like loading so slowly. I'm nervous though because I have my internet plugged in. I could turn off the Wi-Fi. That might be it, but then I might lose everything. But it looks like it's working. It's just slow.
It's in slow-mo for some. This is the first time I've ever seen
so
this
bad.
slow-mo thing. But I don't even know. I don't think it's our fault. I think this is an Ecam thing. And I know it's like blame Ecam, but like I think it's Ecam, right?
Well, the only issue that I think it's my internet because I'm trying to open YouTube and it's like lag. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Let's try to take it off.
Okay.
Let's try to take it off. Let's see. Are we still there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I just have slow internet. I'm so annoyed. We pay like so much money for this too because we got like the streamers package. It's like, can we get a fucking like working internet once in a while?
Yeah, I know. I had this problem in Romania. I remember it was just constantly like
Lag.
constantly. I was not even lag. It was just like taking me off air all the time. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. I heard us talking about buying a computer, and now it's like, okay, let's force them to buy a computer immediately.
Yeah, they are on to us.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
Yeah, the sound is very on point. Like I can hear you very well. People are hearing us. They can see the comments.
Okay.
So
let's just start, and maybe it'll catch up with us.
yeah,
Maybe.
hopefully. Kanye. Oh my God. We talked about Kanye last time because he decided he's going to be anti Semitic now. And he got banned from Twitter for one full day for it. Obviously, Elon Musk stepped in and was like, no, I can't have this happen to my friend Kanye, Mr. Ye. So basically, they brought him back to Twitter, but Kanye was having this whole thing with Adidas in the background. This was all working in the background, and Adidas has just kind of like not responded. Like they weren't very prompt in responding. They
They're
have
taking their time.
responded. Yeah, they've taken their time. They thought about it. More and more pressure online. And eventually they were like, you know what? You guys are right. Okay.
I guess we can cut ties with someone who wants to DEFCON 5 Jews. That's nice of them.
It was so awful because I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there was also a big sign on like on a motorway somewhere being like Kanye is right about the Jews. So people are starting to use him, like neo-Nazis and stuff are starting to use him as this like concept hero image. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, it sucks that this is happening. I cannot believe it, really, like, because it's we should have learned from the past. Like that didn't lead anywhere good for anyone. Like the entire world was at war. We were all destroyed.
Yeah.
There were nuclear weapons thrown. Like, is that really the way we want to go? Like, is that what people are? What are they thinking, really?
It unfortunately fits into the conspiratorial vibes that we have today, where it's like, oh, there's this secret cabal that controls everything and they're drinking children's blood and all that stuff. Like, unfortunately, there is a component to that mindset and from that whole conspiracy theory that Jews are behind it all. And I've heard that many times. So we're almost coming full circle now back to 1940s. Like, who do we blame for all the problems? Oh, the Jews. For some reason, that is what always happens in human history.
Yeah, because obviously every single problem that exists on this planet can be traced back to like one group of people.
Yeah.
Like they are all responsible of absolutely everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That
Apparently.
makes so much sense. Yeah.
And I watched, I was telling Cam off camera, but I watched some of the Piers Morgan interview that Kanye did. And I mean, basically Piers Morgan was asking him, like, why would you say this? Like, what is the point of it? He's like, I want to hear your side and I'm going to give you uncensored. We're not going to censor you. And it sounded like to me that Kanye felt like he got screwed over by some sort of Jewish, like music producer, or a few of them in his career. And that's where this is coming from. And his excuse was, and I guess I understood it no, I didn't understand it like I understand, like I agree, but I was trying to follow his logic. And his logic was, well, I got screwed over by like 5 Jewish businessmen in my career. I'm going to blame the whole like race or the whole religion, just like people blame all Black people for issues of a few. So I was like, okay, I guess I understand that. But then he wouldn't stay on track for that. He would go off and then say all this stuff that didn't make any sense. So I guess that was his way of like,
Okay.
I don't know,
Fair enough. I
Yeah.
understand. So he gets screwed over by producers, but why not say, "Oh, let's go DEFCON 3 on producers"?
Yeah. And he basically
Why are we
said
going
that.
DEFCON 3 on the religion? Like, I just don't understand, because that comes with like a cultural thing, and it's just very, it's a very, it has nothing to do with like getting screwed in the industry, because
Yeah.
this is something that if Kanye was to say that before, and I didn't hear the interview. This is interesting. I'll probably listen to it after.
Yeah.
But because if you get screwed by the industry so many times, I understand that. I've been in TV. The industry fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So I understand, okay, this is a system that doesn't work, or it only works for some and it doesn't really work for everyone, and there's not enough laws around so that it works, so that they have to set in place protections for people, so etc., etc. There's so many things that can be discussed if we're going to look at what is the problem with said industry. If it was like music or whatever, which music and TV and all these industries, they're new. They're
Yeah.
very new industries, like 100 years old, considering how long we've been going on. This is
Sure.
not comparable to like medicine, where we've had doctors for forever. So we had a long time to set things in place to like make sure that everyone just has whatever it takes to work, and if they're protected as workers, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We don't have this for TV. We don't have this for the artistic industries, and especially we don't have them since the internet, and this is a whole new thing. And I just feel like that is a very powerful conversation to have. I would have loved for him to say that on Twitter, but no, no, no. Let's not talk about the actual problem. Let's talk about Jewish people, because they must be the issue here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's like, first of all, I don't think he's coherent. In any interview that I've watched that he's given, it doesn't seem like he's all there, in my opinion, like meaning, he's totally thinking clearly. Because like, even I said, like he made a point that I was like, okay, I guess I could understand that. you know, what he's trying to do there. But then the next second he's talking about something completely off the wall. He's making up all these numbers about his career and that he's like, you know, the biggest, most influential person, or he's the most prolific writer in the entire human history. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not. He's like, I'm better than Capote. He kept bringing up Capote, who wrote In Cold Blood, which is sort of like a random author to bring up. I mean, not saying that he's not a good writer, but like, yeah, like I think it was William Capote. He wrote a book In Cold Blood, and there was a movie about him where basically he was investigating this like, you know, horrific murder of like a whole family, and then the writer ends up like in a relationship with the alleged murderer, and he wrote a book about it. I mean, it's a well-written book, but like, I don't think you can compare like there's some hoes in this house to that piece of literature. I'm sorry, I just don't, you know, even like Gold Digger, like, yeah, that's a good song, but you know, the lyrics are okay. Like, to me, I just don't understand the, oh my God, the genius label that he's been given. I just don't get it. Personally,
I don't know who gave him that
Truman
label
Capote.
because, like,
Duh, I'm such an idiot.
for fuck's sakes, he's not a genius by any stretch of the imagination. But also, I'm thinking more about what you just said about him talking to Piers Morgan and saying that he got screwed. I'm sorry, but when one of the most famous musicians on the planet tells me they have been screwed, like, I don't know if I believe it. It's just because when I think, oh, you get screwed by whatever producer, industry, anything, I don't think you become super successful, because that's what the definition of getting screwed would be. Just kind of not making it. You know what I mean? Or unless he means literally and he had sex with the producer, in which case
he means physically.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. He, in one breath, he'll say, I'm a genius, I'm this and that. And then the next breath, he'll say, I've been screwed so many times, and, you know, the left is trying, he's very against the left. That's his new like tirade. It's against Jews and the left, which is sort of interesting or ironic because I don't know where the Jewish culture necessarily stands, and it's usually different in America than in Israel, like where their political ties lie. But I don't think it's a known fact that all Jews are liberals in any stretch of the imagination. So the fact that he's sort of conflating these two things together, like, oh, the left and the Jews, they both are out to get me. It's just like, I think if
now I think they should be.
Yeah.
Now I think they should be. And in fact, one of the links that I put on Trello is about David Schwimmer, I think it's called, the guy from Russ from Friends.
Yes.
Russ from Friends called him out on his anti-Semitism and called Adidas out for continuing, because like I said, Adidas took a minute for to react to this. And I think the reason they were taking a minute is because, obviously they're working with a very successful celebrity, and they have had this they have had this tie with Kanye for a long time. And I just think, obviously they were thinking they're going to lose business, but now they realize they're going to lose more business now. So I think it's just in the middle. This is where Ross from, I just cannot call him David Schwimmer. Like, he's Ross forever. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Ross called him out, and I really applaud him for it. I'm very, very, very much of a fan. And I'm glad that he's doing this like years and years later, because I loved him in Friends. Except I know he was problematic a little bit, but still I loved him.
He was? What did he do?
Oh, when you no, like as in like the Friends character, not him.
Oh, okay. Ross was problematic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not David Schwimmer.
No.
Can I ask this for a second? What the hell is this shirt? Again, this is a fashion icon.
It's a genius shirt.
He's a genius. I don't get it.
Is that Kanye?
Yeah.
Why the beard?
Genius.
Like, he looks like he's not him. Looks like this is a body double.
he had a rough day at the office at the painting houses or something. I like this jacket probably costs like more than I make in a year, and it's like, why? I just don't understand fashion whatsoever.
Yeah, it comes pre-dirty.
Yeah, that's the thing now. Like, oh, do you want to look like you spent no money, but it actually costs a lot of money? Here you go.
Yeah, the poverty aesthetic. I love it.
Do you see this part about the launch of the latest iteration of the Adidas Yeezy Boosts appeared to be going ahead as planned? Perhaps this is why Ye felt emboldened to say on the Drink Champs podcast, the thing about me and Adidas is I can literally say anti-Semitic shit and they can't drop me. I can say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what?
That's fun.
I guess they did drop him, though.
I think they can.
I think they can.
looks like the genius was not so smart after all about that one.
Yeah. Adi Haas.
Why does he look so different with that beard?
Beards can make a difference.
Yeah.
When I had my beard, I looked nothing like I look now.
Look at him. Look at this. This I want to applaud. Thank you. This is activism. This is what I want. I love that he did this. Look at that. Look how easy.
Ross.
You just fucking talk about it on an Instagram story.
Yeah.
Why aren't more celebrities talking about these things?
Because they love genius. They want to be associated. I don't know. I guess David Schwimmer probably is not good friends with Kanye, so he's probably like, outside of the realm of needing his approval for anything. So he feels, compelled to speak out.
I think they had an encounter before.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but I don't remember. I think it should be in the article.
Oh, in this article?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, the sneakers are sold out, but maybe they did that. They're like you can't buy them anymore.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah. They had a petition. There were 80,000 people signing a petition for Adidas to cut ties with Kanye. Why do we need to sign a petition? Like, this is insane to me. Why has Adidas stuck by him for so long? I don't understand.
I think they like that money, that moolah, baby. They are holding out to see where the tides, were going. Because he said a lot of shit before. He said slavery was a choice back in 2014, and people held on and liked him still.
Adidas held on to him.
Yeah. So they were like, okay. Yeah, and like this has happened before. Let's just see what happens. And I think people who have stand Ye for many, of his controversies are against him now. Like, this is the final straw. Like, it's like, okay, we can't continue.
Yeah, this is extremely bad, I'll admit. I just didn't really see this coming. I don't know.
Oh, Laura says in 2018. Yeah, maybe it was 2018. I'm thinking too far back. He said the one that was like early on, which wasn't even that really controversial necessarily, maybe at the time, was when he was on with Mike Myers on the Katrina hurricane telethon. And you remember that, right? That moment when they're like doing this like live telethon trying to raise money for Hurricane Katrina victims. And, they have the script and Mike Myers is like, whatever, they come to the camera and it's him and Kanye. I don't know why they got matched up, but Kanye's like, George Bush doesn't care about black people. And then everyone just stares at the camera. It's like super awkward.
I have not seen this.
Oh my God. I'll have to I don't know if we can play videos since my internet's from the 50s. It might be because the power honestly on my computer is really low. That actually might be why. And I have it plugged in, but it might just be trying to plug it in time. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, could be.
Because it shows red.
Can you believe we had to sign? I didn't sign it, but can you believe people had to sign a petition for Adidas to listen? I'm sorry. I have Adidas shoes. I don't think I'm gonna have any more Adidas shoes after this.
Well, that's good. That's how you you use your power to affect change by not buying. I think that's good. That's
And
all you can
also
do.
another reason why I won't buy is because they don't have my size. Because Adidas.
The real reason comes out.
No, but I bought shoes that are smaller from
Oh,
them.
okay.
um, but
Oh my
it's just
God.
that they have my number in, and then like in European numbers, it's like 37 what I wear. What I should be wearing is 37.5, but they only have 37 and a quarter and 37 and 3/4, and I'm like, what is this sizing? This sizing is insanity.
Oh, interesting. That's weird. 3/4 size? We have half sizes in America, but I'm a size 8.5. I don't know what it would be in Europe. I have no idea.
I'm a size 4.5 in UK sizing. But UK sizing is not the same as US sizing. That would be like a 6.5 or 7 or something in US.
Tiny feet.
Yeah, tiny. I'm tiny. Did I
so
tell you that?
little.
I'm short.
I'm so
I'm
little.
short and tiny.
Yes.
And all of you and Savvy and who else? You're all tall.
I know you think we're tall, but we're like average. We're just average.
Oh, excuse me.
5'5". So it's the most average height possible for women.
Wait, you're 5'5"?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 5'4".
Okay.
Shut up.
We're the same. I thought you were 5'1". Or like, yeah.
I literally had this on Hinge. That I was
Oh.
5'1", and then I was told, like, you're not 5'1", why are you lying? Because most
tiny.
people lie about their height as in, like,
And you're like, I'm just so tiny and short. Interesting.
yeah.
Huh. Before we move on from Kanye, he's no longer a billionaire after these partnerships are done.
Oh, how sad.
I did see that today.
My heart is broken for him.
Yeah, he still has a 5% stake in Skims, which we talked about last week. You know, so he gets a percentage of every cement tissue box that gets sold. But not.
I can't believe we have this cement shoebox. Like, can you just believe that this is a thing? Like,
Of course, every time we do anything, we have to bring it back to a Rachel Hollis connection. But I'm reading this, and it says, Ye has made a number of anti-black comments. He once declared slavery a choice and said that abolitionist Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. So,
okay.
is she
Thanks,
relatable? We'll never know. Harriet Tubman's actually very not relatable, according to Ye. She is relatable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just she is very unrelatable, and he is also. So
he is unrelatable as well. The whole thing, we haven't even talked about this yet. The George Floyd stuff. That's pretty fucking bad as well.
Yeah, oh my God, Candace Owens. Oh, I don't, there's something about Candace that makes me just angry. Like, she is just so annoying. She made an entire documentary with her friend, Floyd's family.
It's fucked up.
Hold on a second, as I need to read this properly.
Yeah, because, George Floyd's family is suing Kanye because he's making all these false statements allegedly about, George Floyd. Because there was this whole debate over, and they talked about this. Maybe we should watch some of the Piers Morgan interview, because they talked about this there about, like, okay, Piers Morgan said that George Floyd's death was caused, primarily by the suffocation. Okay, obviously. So it seems, of the officer Chauvin's knee on his neck. So that was what the autopsy said. But the autopsy also said he had like a heart condition and whatever. Basically, an autopsy will do that. Like, if you get shot in the head and then they do the autopsy and they say, oh, he also had, like high cholesterol at the time of his death, you can't go, oh, well, I don't know if he really died from the bullet through his brain. It could have just been from the high cholesterol. It's like, no, they put those things in the notes to like say, okay, this is what we found when we did the autopsy. But I guess Kanye was making it seem like, well, the other factors that were going on with George Floyd, that could have caused his death, not the guy choking him with his knee, which is completely ridiculous, I think, personally. And Piers was pushing him on that. And then basically Kanye had no response other than he's like, let's try.
I'm a genius.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, no, I don't understand this. Candace was so I had to take a break. I watched half of the video and I had to take a break. I was like, this is just insane. Like, I don't understand what is happening. Like, who do they think they are, that they are better than experts, that they're better than professionals who were hired for this? Third parties, they were not on one side or the other, like they think they found something called fentanyl. This is what Candace and Ye are claiming, that they found this this sort of
fentanyl
drug or something, and they're blaming. She also showed a video of apparently from the other side or something, in which you can see that this is not where the knee was. It was not on the. And I'm like, it's a photo. You're showing a photo. Do you think like like
So
the
how did
video
he
that we
die?
saw
He just
was
died?
9 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it was a video. You can see it.
Yeah.
In a photo, like that could have been the initial position, and then it moved within 2 seconds, because like 9 minutes is a long time. Like you can move a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was not fucking what's his name. Oh, sorry, I'm swearing a lot, but it's just Candace like drives me nuts.
It's okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't, I've not followed her very closely because I don't want to. I have no interest to give her any sort of attention. She reminds me of that one woman who was doing the same thing. Tommy Lauren, whatever her name is, the blonde woman that was like in her studio, giving her very hot takes on all these issues. And it's like, I don't think they really, and it's not just a woman thing, it's all of these people. I don't think they really believe what they're saying. They just know what will get the other side to like, get like the left or the liberals or any moderate news source to get them attention. And will say this, Candace Owens said this crazy thing today. And that's what it's about. It's getting your name in the headlines as much as possible, saying the most inflammatory, defamatory shit that it's not even real. I don't think they even really believe it because they're smart people. They just want fame and money. And they know that the people following them will just believe whatever. So it doesn't even matter. They'll just support them and give them money. And that's what they're after. I don't believe that they really truly believe these things personally.
But it's at one point it becomes irrelevant what they believe, and the only thing that is relevant is what they do and say. And I just think, because at this point none of us will ever be in their brain. We don't know what's going on there. Clearly they are smart, like you said. They know how to become famous and make a lot of money and so on. But at the end of the day, if I need to be able to judge on what they're doing. I'm not sure what their intentions are, but you know what that saying says, that the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Sure.
And I just don't know what they're thinking, and I don't care what they're thinking, because what I care about is what they're doing and saying. And what they're doing is they're riling people up against Jewish people. They're riling people up against George Floyd. And that is what they're achieving through the words that they say. And I just, whatever might be the truth behind what they think is completely irrelevant to me.
Yeah, and they're fine with that. They're like, I can say whatever, whether I believe it or not doesn't matter. I think the same with Tucker Carlson. Like, I think he knows the game. And the more that I study, in the sense of study these people.
What did I have when I made my first $1 million as a coach? That I have a massive social media following, that I have a best-selling...
Shut up.
What happened?
I'm trying to pull up the interview. And
who has a massive social media?
Russ, whoever that is. This guy. He's got books on books on books.
Oh, so smart. They're all like drawing.
I don't have anything. What was I saying? Okay. Part of me is like, should we start a new stream? Because this is fucking annoying me so bad.
I know, but I don't know if starting it will do anything.
I know. I think my computer just needs to catch up or so. It's gotten up 1%. Whatever. As long as people can hear it, we'll just, just look away, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed for
We'll
joining
make this
Piers
a
Morgan
podcast.
Uncensored.
Yeah.
My first question for you, I guess, is an obvious one. What do you hope to achieve from our conversation?
Oh no, now we're getting
That right there, being
bots.
uncensored. And in American media, it's very censored. It feels like an episode of Black Mirror a lot of times. So I've put myself across the line, the point of no return, saying, hey, I know they're going to say whatever they want about me. When I bring up the truth, they're going to say, you didn't get enough sleep. It's because of your health. They're going to call me names for my truth. But these experiences that I'm telling you about are factually things that I've went through and things that I refuse to keep going through and things that I'm not going to let my children go through and things that I'm not going to let my peers go through. No pun intended.
Well, look, we are most certainly uncensored on this show, Ye. And I want to give you the time and the platform to really explain yourself, because I think that sometimes sound bites about people, perhaps taken out of context sometimes, can create a very distorted view of what a person really thinks. What do you think, looking back over the last few weeks in particular, what do you think have been the biggest misconceptions about you?
Well, I think there's a left agenda to silence anyone that goes against the agenda. Let's go back to Trump running for office.
Oh my God, the internet caught up. Yay! Okay.
Oh, yes.
Look,
Woo!
I'm raising my hand in real time. Okay.
Me too.
Thanks for manifesting this, women-festing this for us, everybody.
Yes.
The sex
Thank
bots
you.
probably brought it on, actually. They actually kept our internet.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Oh, look who's coming. Come here.
Oh, hey, Caro.
She's like, I'm ready for my debut. she must have went and fixed the internet for us as well. Okay. Okay, keep going.
Back in 2015, everyone that was around me in my industry, in the entertainment industry, told me that my life would be over. I would be on the wrong side of history. I've even had threats to my life for wearing the Trump hat. And it even ended up in, destroying my family and also making it where I have to raise my children differently because I actually am a person that's classified as Black. I classify myself as Jew, but a person that's classified.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get that part either.
Sorry. What the fuck?
Apparently he's a Jew, too. So he really hates himself, I guess.
I'm sorry. Is he Jewish?
No!
Oh, so he's just lying.
I guess you can classify yourself as whatever you want, but I mean, does he
Well, now
practice
I'm
the
Jewish.
faith? No. Yeah, exactly. Does he go to
Thank you.
temple? I don't think so.
What the fuck is this nonsense?
Yeah, this is the whole vibe of this whole thing. Just like, I classify myself as Jew. And actually, it's sort of funny because Piers, is not someone I like, at all. Or whatever, but Ye is calling him a liberal agenda pusher too by the middle of this. So even he is, against him, against Ye as well.
Piers is liberal. Piers is Piers.
Well, that's how non-liberal Ye is, that even Piers is too liberal for him.
Yeah, the
So,
non-liberal Jew.
yeah.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
This is the most insane thing I've heard him say.
The thing is, like, I don't care if he wears a Trump hat, but like, no, if he wore a Joe Biden hat or he wore a Trump hat, he's gonna get death threats probably because he's such a big celebrity, and anyone who's in the spotlight gets threats. And I'm not saying it's okay, but I don't think it's just because he chose that side. I think no matter what you do in this day and age, you're gonna get people who are angry about whatever choice you've made. So I don't know. I think because he took a political stance, he got backlash, and that anyone gets that, I think, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, here's Jew, classified as Jew, yay. Let's continue.
Classified that had been given that title in America as black, in America that I'm supposed to stay in a block of a vote. You never heard the term white vote. So why is there a term black vote? How is that okay? It sounds just as racist as a black drinking fountain. And my dad, called me, he said, the thing that the left fear about Ye or makes me the most dangerous is I'm rich. And that's the point. Tupac told me back in the days, you had to get your money right and then you go to war. So I'm going to war. I don't have endless resources. I only have like maybe, honestly, only maybe $120 million in my account. But what I'm not going to let happen is I'm not going to let my kids take over Yeezy someday and have a boardroom telling them what to do and talking behind their back. I'm not going to let that happen to my children. So I have to fight right now. And the other powerful icons in black music, when they were at the top of the game, they didn't fight at that point. They were too afraid of losing whatever they had. So by the time they wanted to make a difference, by the time Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, he didn't have the Cosby Show at that time to be able to stand up when they wanted to literally throw him in jail, where they actually did throw him in jail. So
apparently he's a Cosby stan. They didn't throw Cosby in jail because he wanted to buy NBC. They threw Cosby in jail because he was drugging women and sleeping with them.
Yeah, so
and he's out.
Capitalism punish people buying things.
Yeah, and he got let out. So what the fuck? I was like very surprised by that. I was like, so Cosby is the hero here?
Like, did he get like a list of bullet points of like the most problematic things that he could say? Like, just say you're a Jew, just say you like Cosby, just who gave him this list of bullet points? Because this is insanity what I'm reading here, I'm hearing.
I think it's just free flowing mind. Whatever he wants to say, he's gonna say.
Stream of consciousness.
Stream of consciousness. Stream of conscious yay. I don't know. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but we'll watch a little bit more. Because it's just, the whole thing was sort of like this, like just and at one point he's like, I don't know if we'll get to it, but Pierce is trying to ask him a question or to clarify, and Kanye's like, la 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 la. When I say that, don't interrupt me. And then later on, Pierce is like, la 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 la, don't interrupt me. So there's just like, I don't know, it was like a chaos.
This unhinged
behavior, yeah. Yeah.
What the
People
hell?
have to understand just the bravery. There's so many people everywhere. I know everyone can relate to being afraid to say what you're going to feel because you feel like you're going to, you're going to lose something. So whether you agree with me or not, I believe people are going to feel the fact that someone is brave enough to say something. Every day I do 5 things that people have been historically killed for. Every day. And it's just, I want to prove, first of all, I am Jew also. The 12 lost tribes of Hebrew. Do the math. Do your research on it. We have got our culture ripped from us and then told we were just simply void of color, which is another definition for black. But if we knew we were a culture and knew we were a people, the way the Jewish people know, then we wouldn't abort ourselves. We wouldn't shoot each other dead in the streets and then rap about it. We wouldn't brag about, having sex with each other's wives. We would keep our families together and we would do business together. The most dangerous place for a black person in America is actually in our mother's stomachs. Because 50% of black deaths a year in America is abortion currently. I mean, I can keep going, but I want to make it, hey, boom, ask me questions.
Yo, ask me questions. The funny thing is, or not funny, it's not funny, it's actually horrendous, but he says, my buddy Tupac, you know, said to me before, like, get your money right and whatever. Tupac, one of his most famous songs is like saying that he fucked Biggie's wife. So isn't that
That's
like
okay
the same
because
thing?
it's his friend.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny because that was like one of his like most famous lines, like in his, you know, clapback song against Biggie. It's like, yeah, I fucked your wife. And then he's like, that's not okay. It's like, okay, all right, whatever. Anyways.
I just wonder, like, because last time we watched some of his interview with that guy from Fox News. What was the guy's name? I forgot.
Tucker. And in this time, it's like a different kind of unhinged. Like, back then I was like, this guy is for sure high, like he's not coherent, he's not able to like speak. Now he's speaking, but he's like mixing 1,000 thoughts together that are not related. No.
So now he's like high on a different drug. Like, what's going on? Do they just give him some drugs to go on interviews? They're like, we know this guy can't do it, so why don't you slip him like a MDMA or slip him some weed? I don't know.
You know, I don't know. I hate to like give him the excuse of mental illness, but like when my dad would get into an episode, like a manic depressive episode, like he wouldn't say this stuff, but if you were trying to talk to him, like he could say like one sentence that was coherent and then like the next sentence it would be something completely different and like off the wall, and you know, he wouldn't sit down long enough to like be even spoken to. So I get it. Like you're just not thinking clearly, or you're thinking so fast that you can't even get the thoughts out. I mean, that's been my experience witnessing it in my life. But, you know, my dad's not famous and whatever, but his mind was just so in the illness at that moment. And those that, you know, it's like, yeah, stream of consciousness. And the stream of consciousness is just like not on our level, you know, not on like a conscious level.
I suppose, yeah.
He might be on like a sedative or something to get just like allow him to like be, but maybe it's not the right, you know, he might still be in an episode.
Yeah, this is the part where you get your manager involved, and it's just what's the manager doing? Why is he doing interviews when he's manic or when he's like, you know, like, isn't this the kind of moments when you're just like, no, keep him away until like he calms down, or you know, just he needs
Trump,
to be
like
private
Trump.
for a while.
Yeah, it's like Trump. Like Trump made his own decisions. Like at a certain point, it's like he has a whole cabinet of people he's supposed to listen to, and he was just like, I'm gonna call in to, you know, my friend on Fox News and talk to him, you know, when he shouldn't have necessarily. I think they just, you know, they are the ones with the purse strings. So if they tell the manager fuck off, like then that's what they're gonna do. I think.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Do you want to keep watching, or you want to move on?
Let's watch another minute or two because I'm
You're intrigued. Okay, it is good. It gets worse, I think, or more unhinged as we go on.
I don't want to jump in too much because here's what I honestly think. I think you have an extraordinary mind. You have a number of extraordinary talents. You're a musical genius. You're a fascinating public figure. What has been interesting to me is to watch the furore which has erupted in the last few weeks over a series of statements that you've made, which have caused, as you know, a lot of offence. And I guess before I get into them, I'm just curious as to whether you think there is a line for free speech. I completely agree with you that there is a war against free speech, that people are, you know, treading on eggshells all the time, terrified of expressing honestly held opinions in case they get cancelled. I think we're living in a really insidious era where liberals are behaving like fascists. So on that, you have absolutely my agreement. But my question for you is, do you believe there are limits to free speech? And if they are, what are they?
There are no limits to free speech. It's all context, right? Tarantino can write a movie about slavery where actually him and Jamie, they got the idea from me because the idea for Django, I pitched to Jamie Foxx and Quentin Tarantino as the video for Gold Digger. And then Tarantino turned it into a film. But in that film, he puts a context. He creates a context where Leonardo DiCaprio is allowed to use the word multiple times within that context. So Hollywood's job is to frame things, and they allow what context, what content is accepted and what's not. We have our thoughts. You know, everyone has thoughts and ideas, and then people try to manipulate your thoughts and ideas. In order for humanity to move forward, we have to be free to think and then to actualize. I like the word actualize better than execute. If you think about execute's a negative word, actualize would be more positive, except for the fact that it has the word act in it, and everyone's an actor, especially in Hollywood. I'm like top 5 writers in human history, so I really get into the power of words, and I feel very akin to Capote, Freud. Nikolai Tesla, Da Vinci, Matisse, more Matisse than
the greatest writer of all time, Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, and Freud. Well, yeah, dude, you're just on that level, just on Freud level.
And I don't think he knows Matisse. And I'm not going to be like, well, he doesn't know Matisse like I know Matisse. I don't really know what a Matisse painting would be, to be quite honest. But when he says that, then Piers is like, oh, I spent the summer with following Matisse's life. And then Kanye's just like, I don't think he actually had any context of to why he's Matisse or what he's known for or anything. Cause he kind of like backtracks off of saying that. In this part, because I think he just heard the name and was like, oh yeah, I'm like that. I'm like this famous artist. I don't know if he knows.
And clearly he said that about, it's the same about like Freud and the other guy he mentioned, because he didn't he say like he can't read or he doesn't read or something?
I don't know, probably.
Yeah,
I just
he
don't
said
think
he
he's a
never
genius.
read a book or something. Like
It was a random list. He's like, I'm the best writer, one of the best writers, just like Freud. Okay. Capote,
Freud is
random. Yeah. Nikola Tesla. Okay. Don't think he wrote a lot. Maybe he did. I don't think so. And then whoever else.
he's trying to position himself just like Rachel Hollis did with all the women. He's trying to position himself again, like around the grades. But the thing is, this is such a mix that I don't even understand. Like Freud is known for his like psychological discoveries. He's not known for his writing. It's like one of his books that I actually own was actually a collection of his classes that he was teaching at his university. It wasn't just that Freud sat down and wrote that. It was just that his teachings were good and people could put them into that book. And I'm sure that he has plenty of books that he wrote, but like,
Yeah.
even I have a Freud book and I would never say that I read Freud. Like I would never like even, because it's just false. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But then again, not everyone has the same consideration for the truth, I suppose. Like
The truth is
irrelevant.
subjective and irrelevant these days. The truth is not important anymore. And, I find that to be concerning on very many levels, but what are you gonna do? Like, it's too far gone. The truth train is off the tracks and it's already exploded. So what do? You just got to keep going. I don't know. There's no way to capture it back at this point. So I don't know what that means for society, but I think it's too far gone. Like, we've already accepted lack of truth as okay. So I don't know.
Yeah. And also the fact that he said this is about context and stuff. That is the part where I'm just like, yes, it is a context. You're right about that.
Sure.
What the fuck was the context you tried to push? Because like, yes, context matters, and your context was let's go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Like, how is that like? Because he's comparing this to Django Unchained, but Django Unchained was a commentary on slavery. It was not like,
Yeah.
let's be slaves again. Like, that's not what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just like had that idea and was like, okay, let me just put my name on it as if I was a part of the movie. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. Okay,
I
let's
think
watch.
it was like that would be. This is the part where I just fucking hate that it's like people like Piers Morgan. But of course, you would go on channels like Piers Morgan, and he's never gonna go on like a decent news outlet.
Yeah.
Because that's where you stop him and you go like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like what, that's
He
where you
does
stop
do
the
that.
person talking.
He
and
does.
You just
He
kinda,
tries later.
I mean, but so far it's like, you're a genius, a musical genius, you're wonderful.
I think it's one of those
Shut
things
the
like
fuck
one
up, Piers Morgan.
person said that he's a musical genius and then everyone just accepts it. Like, I think there is a lot of truth to that. If you call yourself a genius, people think, well, it must be true because that person wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. And then it just becomes accepted. It's like this guy wrote like normal songs. He took, other songs and made raps to it. Like, is that genius? I don't know. It was
I just
commercially successful, but genius? I don't know. What does that mean?
There's so many like rappers. Like, why is he genius? Like, what
Yeah.
exactly is he so special? There's other rappers
He's not.
out there.
I don't think so. And he wasn't the first. He's not the best. He's just one of a bunch, and he's good. Why is he
just
better?
has like problematic opinions
Yeah.
about things that are not even music related.
Yeah.
Why is he a genius in music? I like he's got no. I don't know. There's so many people. It's just like. Never mind. I feel like it's becoming ridiculous to even think about what he's saying at this point because he's just talking out of his ass completely.
Yeah. So he's Matisse and Picasso, and that's the part where he left off, that he's on par with these famous artists.
And Picasso, more African cubism than Matisse. So I just do that. I throw out that kind of for the liberals. And that's the funny thing. It's like liberals.
Let me hold you up on that.
Me.
On Matisse, when you say you're more Matisse than Picasso, as somebody who's a fan of Matisse and Picasso, actually, I spent a lot of time in Saint-Tropez where they all used to paint together. Why do you say Matisse? What is it about Matisse that you feel an affinity with?
I don't think he was ready for that.
I feel like Drake is more Picasso and Ye is more Matisse. When we talked about
What?
when me and Drake went to do the show last year,
I don't think he knows who Matisse
for
is.
prison reform and to bring awareness to the incarceration of Larry Hoover, I sent him articles about the relationship of Matisse and Picasso and the need for these people. You need to have that. I need to go into the bar and go to Starbucks. That's a form of a modern day bar, right? And just hear Drake's song playing back to back. And Drake needs to go into that same Starbucks
This is how he
just in a
explains
different
why he's
city
like Matisse.
and see people wearing Yeezys. And it puts us both back into the studio. And, God sets up these almost similar characters, these doppelgangers. It makes me really realize God has a sense of humor. Like, why is John Galliano and Mark Jacobs the exact same human being, just placed in a different place? Or why does God have it where Bernard Arnault cannot purchase Gucci, not even through the Chinese market? God does this to remind us that we are not God. Because when you take people like Elon Musk and Bernard Arnault and Trump or Jack Ma, Putin, you take these people in their own space, in their own environments, we can start to feel like gods on earth, but we are nothing in comparison to God. And we are here actually to love one another and to collaborate and to make the world a better.
The question is, why are you like Matisse? Drake is like Picasso. Why? I don't know, because Starbucks is the modern bar. Okay. I don't know.
Starbucks. What? Starbucks doesn't sell alcohol. What the hell does he think a bar is?
There's still bars. Bars are still around. You could go to a bar, too.
Very modern still.
Modern day
They
bar.
make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is unhinged.
We're over it.
I'm just starting to feel like I'm starting to feel dirty myself for watching this. I feel like I shouldn't be watching
Well,
this mental breakdown.
Yeah, and later on he'll say, people used me and I feel used, and I go, the people who are using him the most are Piers Morgan, are Tucker Carlson, are people who are wanting to put him on prime time or put him on these platforms to say whatever to make himself look foolish. And that's who's really using him. And Trump is using him too, or was, like, in those, letting him just go to the White House and do these long, rants about he was going to change the Air Force One. And it's like they're allowing him to look foolish at the, expense of himself. And it's like, okay, if, the people who are trying to say, yo, relax, be quiet, are trying to help him, I believe. So
they're trying to prevent like this from happening.
But whatever. What do we know? Anyways,
he is done, I think.
I think Kim Kardashian is probably well, I don't know, she probably is like glad that she's in the spotlight too. So I don't know that she's like among Aaron, thanks, that she's in the headlines, because of this. Probably secretly she can sell more tissue boxes because, she is associated with him. She looks like the good one compared to the two of them.
Oh my God, she does. That's how bad this is, that it makes Kim Kardashian look good.
Yeah, so she's probably not that upset about it, I would imagine.
Can you imagine like waking up to this guy every day?
Oof. In that fucking cement house, you would go insane. That's what probably pushed him over the edge, living in the gray void room on the cement bed floor. He had no inspiration. He's like, I'm going nuts. Eey.
Yeah, maybe that's just like the cement drove him nuts. That you're right. Like,
it
would drive me nuts. It's too cementy.
Yeah, too gray. Doesn't give you much creativity space. Okay. Well, that's what's up with Ye these days.
Yeah, he makes like everyone I cover on this channel look good.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, he's sort of gone off the edge of funny into sad territory.
Yeah.
Anyways, you want to go to Olsen twins or Ned Fulmer?
Let's do a palate cleanser with Ned Fulmer.
Okay, let's do a metaphorical or a metaphysical palate cleanser too.
Clear.
There you go. Clear.
Nice.
Okay. I haven't heard this, so what is this all about?
So the story of the white guy, wife guy, try guy, continues. So basically, the whole thing came out. He was cheating on Ariel. He was, doing this in Vegas alongside, while he was hanging out with his workmates and all that stuff. But they don't know a single thing. Like, they have no clue.
Of course.
They didn't see anything. They didn't see the guy making out with the woman next to him. Never mind. It doesn't matter, because it turns out that people have found out that he was having sex in his car,
allegedly,
with the woman Alex that he was cheating on Ariel with. And this is I just think it's such like neighborhood vigilante news. I think it's just fabulous. I absolutely love it.
And that's the wife. That's not the girlfriend. So it was with the girlfriend, they think?
Yes, yeah. Because
Okay.
that is car, and they saw him come into the car. There was a video that caught him after the scandal, and they were asking him, do you have any comments? Are you getting back together? Blah, blah, blah. And they caught the plate number. And then the plate number, turns out this was reported on a vigilante website for neighborhoods, because they're saying that somebody was having sex in that car.
Do you have the
In the same-
Nextdoor app in Europe?
No.
Okay, the Nextdoor app is notorious for like everyone spying on everyone. So that checks out, because if it happens in the neighborhood, like I don't have it on my phone, but sometimes I get emails from like, and it's only like your neighborhood. It'll be like, I saw someone walking and I didn't recognize them. It's like, oh my God, you know, like that's the type of posts that people post on this app. So this would definitely make sense that if someone was having sex in a car, you know, on a street, that someone would post about it on the Nextdoor app. So I believe it.
Right. Well, why are they reporting people walking?
I don't know. Suspicious person. He was wearing a red bandana. Like, oh my God, who cares? Like, shut up. But that's all the time. And then there's just fights always about like people like that. Like, who cares? Stop posting this. And then they're like, but I'm concerned about my safety. Something was stolen from me 20 years ago. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my God. I hope I don't become that person.
Yeah, they're bored. They're very bored.
So as the Try Guys recover from the cheating scandal, fans of the YouTubers are unearthing more rumors about the former member. Fulmer has been radio silent after he was let go from the group after getting caught cheating on his wife Ariel with the group's associate producer. Fulmer and his wife put on a united front with joint statements and even confirmed that they were working on repairing the relationship in a paparazzi video. Yeah, I think this is the video where they could see the
Plates.
car plates, and that's she was saying that they were gonna try to get back together or something. However, fans are still unpacking what was going on in Fulmer's private life for the past year, including one confusing rumor. Ned Fulmer's car was implicated in a post accusing people of having sex in public.
Dun dun dun.
Debauchery, absolutely. In May 2022, a Twitter user tweeted a screenshot of a post originally shared on Nextdoor, an app where people share tips about going on in local neighborhoods. Yeah. Nextdoor has suddenly probably increased in value.
Yeah, probably.
Can you imagine maybe them become like Zoom?
Oh God, no. They don't need to add any more features. They got enough features on that app.
Do you have the app though?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun. Do you ever get this sort of news? Like somebody's having sex in a car?
I don't remember that specifically, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's like pick up. I'm putting my old bed frame outside if anyone wants it. Followed by there's a suspicious person. Followed by garage sale next Saturday. Like that's the type of stuff there is.
Right. So just anything and everything.
Yes. But this, people would be like, I don't think this is like a planted thing. Like, you know, this looks legit to me.
No, this is like they checked I think it is legit too. It's just kind of funny because obviously you don't think of that, but like they must have had sex somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like so cheap
Car?
as to pay for a hotel room.
Yeah, come
Car
on,
it
guys.
is. The same car that his wife
Takes
walks
their
into,
kids
like,
to school.
Oh God, the kids.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about the kids. Shit.
it's always good.
Yeah.
And
In the screenshot.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Were you gonna say something?
No. I was gonna say this is what they said. That's the interesting part. Go ahead.
In the screenshot, a photo of a car's license plate was accompanied by a caption that read, "People having sex in car at 5:45 while kids and families are walking around." 5:45? It's daylight. Yeah. This is mental. Okay. So once seeing the post, people started to notice the car shared an eerie similarity to Fulmer's car. Every once in a while, Nextdoor over-delivers.
And that's the paparazzi of that same car. Damn.
Damn. It's not even comfortable in a car.
Go on.
Although it was not a Tesla that I had sex in, so maybe, you know.
Was it daylight in a neighborhood?
No, it was not daylight, but it was in a neighborhood.
Okay. Well, I guess it has to be, I suppose, at some point.
I mean, like what else? Like on the highway?
Yeah. McDonald's parking lot.
No, it was pitch black, far from the city.
That's good.
Why am I talking about this?
It was on this
this was
street.
the paparazzi interview. Let's watch a little bit. I hope they don't claim us.
Eh. It looks staged. They're smiling.
Hi guys. Hey, are you guys working things out?
Yeah.
You are?
We're working things out.
Well, that's good to hear. Hi Ariel. Hi Ned. Hey, what's next in your career, Ned?
We
Okay.
pick up our kids.
Okay, sure thing. Have a good day.
Awkward. I would be like, you did this to us, you asshole.
Yeah, why would you want to work things out with this guy? Like, I don't.
They got kids, man. That's the thing. You got kids. You want to work it out for the kids. That's what they say.
They all do for the fucking kids. I just feel like the kids get traumatized in the process with these things.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing they should do is cancel their podcast. That probably would help matters the most.
Yeah.
Step 1, cancel the relationship podcast. Step 2, therapy. Step 3, I don't know.
He's not doing the podcast anymore. I think he's fired, so I don't think he's
Yeah.
got any of those.
Well, because they have their own podcast, the parenting podcast. So I guess. I mean, I think that's part of the Try Guys brand, though, too. So I think that's over.
Yeah. Paparazzi culture is so bizarre. Like, can you imagine like walking on the street and somebody just like approaching you like that?
No. That's how I felt. I kept trying to tell myself, because when I went to Cincinnati for the Rage Shock thing, I saw her boyfriend in the middle of the street, and not in the middle of I was in the middle of the street. He was on the sidewalk, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is so weird. I'm like breaking a law by like taking his photo. But I'm like, paparazzi would be like all up in his face, like asking him questions, and like that's legal. So I guess I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a picture from afar. I guess I'm all right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. How was do you want to give us some tea from Cincinnati's Rage Talk Live?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. I love it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did a whole stream about like what she did, like story by story, essentially. It was very boring. You, as someone who doesn't, listen to her as much, you probably would have heard all of the stories and all of the things that she told. The most concerning thing that I heard during the whole thing, and it took me till I got home and like kind of rethought about it, was that she told a story about her panic attack, right? And this is like the leading story of the whole I don't know what it is, show. And basically she said her boyfriend was really mean to her when she was having her panic attack, and when she was at a concert, and she was like on the floor and like being hysterical, and like she was having, she was upset because she was having this panic attack, whatever, and that he was mean to her. And then later he said that's the only way I could get through to you was anger. And so she said, so that's the best message for everybody tonight, that sometimes you don't want something, but you need something. And that's like what my boyfriend provided me. And the story is whatever, but like the message that means to me is like very problematic, in the sense of, with domestic violence, and I'm not saying they are a domestic violence situation, but a woman in the audience hearing that message, I think is problematic. Like if a man or anyone is like, I beat you to teach you a lesson, that's the only way I could get through to you was to beat the shit out, like, and that's good for you. That's kind of how I took it. Like, you're saying this as your own experience. Like Rachel was talking about it from her own perspective, but she did come out with a lesson for everyone. And I was like, you don't know what people might interpret that as. And I just thought that if you were abused and the message is, well, anger is good when you need it from your partner, I just found that to be a bad message to give. So that was my biggest kind of negative red flag takeaway from the whole event.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Would she
Yeah.
say that about Dave? It was great when Dave was angry at me. It's the only time, the only
Yeah.
time he got through to me. No, now we're
No.
trashing Dave in every single interview or even every single podcast, whatever she does anymore.
Yeah.
And,
Well, she was mean to Dave, and it was okay for her to be mean to Dave. And Dave would kind of take the position of her, where Dave would say, well, she pushed me and she said she was going to leave me on the mountain, which was very motivating when they did the Everest challenge thing. So they're all like confused, I think, about what love is and what, support is. It just seems like Dave and Rachel are two people who have not developed like healthy boundaries in life yet. Personally.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like this is also toxic and it's about to end. I don't know how I would feel if I was the boyfriend and she tells this story about me being angry on stage in front of hundreds of people
I wonder
on a
that
live
too.
tour.
And
Like,
every
how
city,
do you feel? If people know who you are, you're famous. Well, he's not that
relatively.
famous, but people know of him. Like,
Sure, she's tagged him in things now, so it's clear like who the boyfriend is,
yeah, there's no mystery there. And Rachel hasn't had like a lot of, she's not dated a lot. She's not had a lot of partners, so it can only be one of two. So
Yeah.
it's very, I don't know. I would be. I mean, my
Weirded out.
ex was mad that I shared something on a story that goes away in 24 hours, and he was the ex.
Yeah.
So I don't, and he still called me and was absolutely mad and disgusted and all the things. And I was like, it's true. Like you could try being a nice person. How about that? Anyway, but that was like,
Yeah.
that was something that was like, I don't care about the relationship anymore. The relationship was well done by that point, whatever.
Sure. And you're not
But to
selling
be with
it.
someone and just, I'm like, you know what? Buy like tickets to my VIP Rage Talk
To talk
Live.
shit about my
I'm
boyfriend.
gonna trash my boyfriend with you.
And that's like she said to like when she got divorced from Dave, like I'm never gonna make this mistake again by using my relationships as content. And she's done nothing but do that since they got together, because when she came back on the internet after her Toiletgate scandal, one of the first things she posted, not first things, but I shouldn't say that. One of the first things within that couple month span was, I kissed a man for the second time ever, like a new man. And she did this whole thing about kissing him and all that. That was like early on. And then every single podcast, every single Rage Talk almost, she brings him up. And now she's, using him in content on stage. Like she's doing exactly the same thing she did with Dave, but now with this guy. And I guess like she's a one-trick pony in that way. Like she has nothing to talk about unless she's talking about how amazing her partner is or how shitty her partner is. Because look at Girl Wash Your Face. Half the book is about how big of a douchebag Dave was when they first met. And she's really has not talked very nicely about Kez in the sense of when she actually tells a story, he always looks like an asshole. But then she'll say, I love him though, but he's the best. But the story makes him look like a jerk. So
yeah,
nothing's new.
I feel like these people, like, I don't know how this is happening, but I feel like people, and especially Rachel, like this is shocking to me just how fast she got in. And Dave got in a relationship even faster after a breakup. And I cannot imagine after my breakup that I would have gone into another relationship right away.
Publicly.
Because you're so raw. It's so painful after a breakup. especially if it's been years and years. And like for her, it was like 17 years or 18 years. There's 4 kids. Like,
Yeah.
untangling that life is a lengthy, painful, raw sort of process. Imagine in the midst of all that pain, just bringing in another person you have to deal with. Like I could never do that, and I'm
Yeah.
so glad I didn't do it, because I just don't think it's healthy. And I think people who do that, they're just escaping, the initial pain. But by doing that, you're pushing down that pain, and it's just not going anywhere. It's going to come back one way or another. So it's not, because if you don't stop and like process what's going on and just kind of take
Yeah.
stock, okay, get your closure, get your like whatever,
Yeah.
if you don't do that, you think you're doing well, but you're not. You're just entering toxic relationships because you're desperate for that pain to go away.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna take the first person that comes along. You're just gonna and I think that is super damaging, because in the end you're gonna hurt that person, because you're not, you're not in love with the person. You're just desperate to
Yeah.
fill in a void, and that person's gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer because you've not actually dealt with the shit that you've been through. And it's just such a recipe for disaster, and I feel like this is exactly what's happened to them. Although for her it was slightly longer than it was for Dave, still I feel like
Well, for Dave, it was they
minus 3 months.
Yeah, not even. Rachel moved out in June of 2020, and he met Heidi in person July of 2020. So, and they started dating pretty quickly after that. So it was a month or something, they said. And with Rachel, it was January, I believe. So they divorced in June, and then by January, they were already together. But the thing that bothers me about Rachel, at least Dave's honest about how they met, I guess. And that, I mean, he could be lying, but he said that he had Heidi come on as like a podcast guest, and that's how he basically got to know her. Invited her to come to Texas and record a podcast, and then they fell in love immediately, of course. But Rachel's like, I wasn't looking for a relationship because, that wasn't on my agenda. I just happened to download this celebrity dating app for friends. Yeah. It's like, bitch, come on. For friends. What friends did you make? Oh, you made one boyfriend? Okay, so I guess that your experiment didn't work.
You literally imagine going on a date after 18 years of being with one man, going on a date with another man, and immediately becoming his girlfriend. Like, I think that's just, what is that? Just, she can date. You can just date for a year or two. Like,
she
just
needs
try
that content,
out multiple
though.
different types of people.
I don't know. Well, because it's different for her, of course, because she has to. Her whole brand is telling personal stories, so she needs someone who's going to be okay with being in content, who's going to be. To show that she's the hero and Dave's the asshole, because look, I'm in this new relationship and it's going perfectly. So she can't just date around, because then people would think oh, maybe she's hard to be with. So she had to be with someone who's whatever. And she doesn't have a personality. So she had to take on someone's personality fully, which is now who she's, now she's a hippie. And Kez, she claims, is also a hippie. Here's my soundbite for that.
I'm a big time hippie and I'm very woo woo.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's bad news. I just don't think it helps anyone.
No. Here's another one.
I am dating the most evolved human being.
Yeah, wait until they break up, and then she's gonna come out with every single podcast about how much of a cunt he was.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
that's what's gonna happen for sure. But besides all of that, besides the drama of it all and the intrigue, I really did not like that message that his anger was a good thing, because it snapped her out of what she needed to be snapped out of. I just found that to be
sorry,
not a
was
good
this
message.
the story about the panic attack?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you get a panic attack and your boyfriend yells at you?
No, he didn't yell at her, but he's like, you're not, because she's like, I'm so hot and my heart's beating really fast. And he's like, you're not hot and your heart's not beating. And she wanted to go to the hospital. And he's like, well, if you go to the hospital, everyone's going to see you. So like, do you really want that? And then she said, no. And then they got into a fight. And then later on at night, he said, she's like, I'm mad at you because you were so mean to me. I needed to be like taken care of. He's like, well, that's the only thing that would work for you is anger. I don't know. It doesn't make fucking sense to me either.
That sounds like that's not true. That sounds like there's more to the story and she's leaving some details out there. I'm not getting how was he mean if that's all he said.
Yeah.
If all he said is, are you sure you want to go to the hospital? She could very well say, yes, I'm sure. And
I don't know.
Go.
First of all, and there's been a lot of people were saying it in the comments when I was talking about this story. It doesn't sound like a panic attack. Like she just had a panic attack for no reason. It sounds like a drug trip the way she was talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw you talk about it on the live stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that it's exactly what happens when you're like high on shrooms or like hallucinogenics. Like you want to touch everything. You're just like
you're hot.
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's why I don't smoke weed or do a lot of I don't do any drugs, but like, I have smoked weed on occasion and like I get very panicky from it. Like it hurts my anxiety. I feel like, oh my God, so that's why I don't do it for that reason. But I wouldn't say, if I was to tell that story to somebody, to anyone, I would say, well, I smoked weed and then I went to this concert and then I had a panic attack, because that's an important part of the story, to say I smoked a bunch of weed before and that's what caused this to happen. But she left that part out, I think, to appear innocent. But
I think it sounds more like shrooms or LSD, because like I've taken shrooms and you have this, like the part that made me think of that was when she talked about how the music was the best thing she's ever heard.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly why. Because that's why you would take it. You would take that in order to enjoy, like, especially when you're like in your early 30s and you're like, fucking clubs suck. But if I take some of this, I'm gonna actually enjoy it, and I'm not gonna be thinking about the sticky floors and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And she describes perfectly what it is to have like a small, not like a large dose, like a normal small dose that would just put you in the mood for an hour.
Yeah, and she was at a Paul McCartney concert, which is like, the Beatles are like LSD, like commercials. So, I mean, I think it makes sense. And I think if he's into that. But I don't
understand why she can't just be fucking honest and be like, I tried LSD or I tried shrooms and that was great.
Because I think she's trying to become the goodest or still remain the goodest good girl of all time.
I think it's bullshit. I think she knows that her audience will not appreciate that from her.
Well,
because they were like ex-Christians, right?
Yeah,
or Christians.
The people that were there in person, I mean, it was 95, if not more percent, definitely 99% women, 95% white women. So I think she can kind of see that, and they're on the older end, like probably her age, like 40 plus, maybe a little bit more than 40, 45, 50. So I think, that's not necessarily okay with that demographic to do LSD at her age, So I think she just wants to tell the story, but I don't know. The story didn't make any sense to me, because a whole part of it was that she pooped on her. She was going to poop everywhere, and that was a whole thing. And she always has to do that to make it seem like she's relatable. I don't know.
Yeah, totally relatable. I poop all the time.
It's confusing.
So the thing that bothers me more about this whole thing is that this sounds like a good experience, and then she's trying to make it sound like she had a panic attack.
Well, I think a lot of people were not even a lot of people, I think myself included, were speculating that there's two stories she told, and both times she said people who were in person thought I was drunk. People that were there probably thought I was drunk, but here's what really happened, and I'm actually innocent of everything. And so I wonder if in person she's been acting odd or something, and she's now had to she feels like she has to explain it as to why she's appeared to be intoxicated in public, perhaps. I don't know. That's my thoughts. I'm not sure.
Well, shrooms and LSD would make you awkward in public.
Yeah.
You're not happy to be around people that you don't know when you're on these. Like, it's great when you're like in a sort of secluded space with people that you're friends with, or like people that you're okay with, and you're just like sharing that moment and you're having a good trip and whatever. Physical.
Yeah.
And for some reason, just the other people just make you anxious or can turn that trip into a bad trip. So it sounds like she was high on LSD for sure, or shrooms. But like for shrooms to get high like that, you would have to take a lot.
Yeah. Well, she probably never had done it before too, so I don't know. She's probably.
It doesn't matter because they're not very powerful. They're very just you have to take like a fistful in order to get like that. So she most probably did LSD. That sounds like LSD to me.
Interesting. Well, then the other story she told at the end. So she told that one first about the panic attack, and then the last story was also about the boyfriend. How the boyfriend, went up the mountain without her. For the Everest challenge. So basically, like, there's a resort. They go to different resorts. They sticks and stuff, and it looked like trolls. And I was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, again, this sounds it sounds like a drug thing's going on. But of course, she was like, "It's anemia," which, okay, sure.
Okay, what?
I don't know.
How exactly is it anemia? Excuse me.
She said all of her mental health issues the last year has been caused by anemia, and that's been, that's the thing she's discovered. It's like, okay, whatever you say.
Another thing that makes me think it's like hallucinogenics for sure, and definitely LSD probably, in my very uneducated opinion, except I also tried it a little bit. But you become, people who take shrooms or LSD become very like spiritual. You're like, because you have this like, I didn't clearly, but
Some do. Yeah.
I didn't take that much. I just took like I took an eighth of a thing, so very small sort of quantities. But basically people hallucinate, and it makes you feel like you're part of something, like you're you can see things like a lot prettier, the colors are prettier, like everything is nicer, the music sounds better, so you feel like you're in tune with things. And I've seen so many people talk on websites, on like Reddit and things like that, and they say that it was the most spiritual experience they ever had, and they just suddenly start to believe in the universe and whatever. And I think if you take a good dose of this, probably, like if you take a small dose like me, I'm just there like, yeah, the colors were pretty and the music was nice, but like that's it. No universe for me, thanks.
Yeah. It's subjective, I would imagine. If you're already predisposed to that type of thinking, and if you take something that's going to make you experience that more, I would imagine, I feel more connected. Like, that makes sense. Kimberly Casse, thank you. Kimberly says, I def feel like she had an incident in public that she had to explain and used it for material. RH laying on a sticky floor at a Beatles concert. Yeah, I agree.
How relatable. Seriously.
How relatable. She's a bougie bitch, as she says.
Why not? Like, I think this would be maybe her comeback. Just say you've done LSD. Like, just what's the big deal?
Well, did you see what I talked about at the end of the podcast? That she just signed a deal with Sirius XM radio.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so her and Lewis Howes and Mel Robbins, they signed on with Sirius XM, so they're going to be supported financially, and they're going to be on. My friend is the best, Like, there's nothing of value unless you're interested in, like, gossiping about Rachel Hollis, which I love to do, don't get me wrong, but, like, the way that they were saying, like, oh, this is going to change lives. It's like, come on, give me a break. Like, this is the person you're going to promote. Yeah, this is the person you're going to give more of a platform to. Why?
They're like, they always say this, like, oh my God, you guys pay attention. This is going to change your life. Listen, listen. Did you know that thoughts create your behaviors? Oh my
Manifest.
God, mind blowing.
I know.
Wow. Just, and
I'm
I feel
annoyed.
like this is, yeah, but this just means that serious is like not quite serious.
Yeah. And again, like I don't listen to Sirius XM radio. The only people I know that have it are like my friends' parents. So like maybe that's the demo they're going for, and like they're trying to bring in young talent. I don't know. Who knows? I have no idea. But it's just like she puts in 0% effort and gets rewarded. It just frustrates me. Maybe that's the problem. I know it's my own issue. It's not her necessarily. It's like I believe life should be fair, and it's not. And every time I'm presented with facts that it's not fair, I get pissed.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the same situation for Kanye here, right? Like, because like that's what, and this is really why we have our channels, because we're both like super angry about the fact that the world rewards this sort of problematic character. And I feel like, but people do need to talk about it, because otherwise there is no chance anything will ever change unless we talk about it. And but I understand. But I think that when these broadcasters make choices, they don't care about what's in. Very rarely, only when you
It's
have
numbers.
like serious broadcasters, they look at numbers and that's it.
Yeah.
If you work with things like that are educational, or like, for BBC, which is something that I feel like I was lucky to try, that's a different thing, because it's not funded by advertisers and sponsors. So it's got a different sort of a different um purpose. The purpose is not let's make money, because they already have the money from the government. So the purpose is really make sure that what we're putting out in the world is exactly
helpful,
correct and true, and we are going to fact check it, and we're going to, so, or at least the people that I worked with, maybe not everyone at BBC is like that, but for sure the people I worked with were very careful about fact checking, very careful that the information was completely accurate and historical and all of that. And this is not the case with things that are funded by advertisers, and this is not the case with a lot of things, really, pretty much everything almost at this point.
Yeah, because you have to appeal to like the most people possible, and you're going to be pushed to talk about the most controversial things possible. So, or I don't know. Like having facts, like I said, facts don't matter anymore. No one really is like upset or up in arms if you get something completely wrong on purpose. No one's pissed anymore really about it. So it's like, okay, so why would I take the time and the effort to fact check something when I could just say,
well, yes,
I think this, and then,
exactly. But I also think that they can get a little bit arrogant with that, and then there's like a lawsuit, and then they're in fucking serious trouble, and because at the end of the day, like the law still reigns supreme. So it's kind of, I still think they can get in trouble with things like that. I just think that so far they have not. But look at Brittany Dawn. When we talked about her like recently, Brittany Dawn is in a lawsuit because she did shady shit. Like
that is a good sign, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is obviously it's thanks I'm always not sure. It's my, right?
I think so. I always say my. Sorry, me, if it's my, if it's not my.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll just say this.
I have like no facts.
That's Rachel. I have like no facts.
I just have opinions. But let's just let Rachel rot for a second.
Yes.
And we should talk about our final news of the week, which is the Olsen twins.
Woo! Olsen twins.
Woo!
I was obsessed.
Because this is also fun.
Oh yeah, I was obsessed with them when I was a kid.
Really?
Oh yeah, I wanted to be. I had the Game Boy game of them. It was like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's Haunted Mansion or something. I played that all the time. I had the books. They wrote, like, not them, but they had like books about, you know, their adventures. I read them. It Takes Two, the movie with Christy Alley, was one of my favorite movies. Oh wait, no, It Takes Two, or When the West Was Fun. I don't know. All their movies I loved. Like, I got my hair cut like her, or one of them, you know, had like choppy layers. I wanted choppy layers. So yeah, so I was a big Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen stan.
I don't know if you're gonna still be a stan after this, Kayla.
I'm ready. I've heard they've changed. I've heard they've changed.
They have changed indeed. So they're in a lawsuit. Talking about lawsuits that we were just mentioning. Sometimes the bad things you do come back to haunt you, apparently, or sue you.
It's because they're in fashion. Fashion is like the worst industry possible.
I don't know. TV is pretty bad.
True. Yeah, which worse, fashion or TV?
Or YouTube. I'm not even sure.
YouTube is fine. YouTube is better
I love
than
YouTube.
Yeah.
I love it. So they got sued because apparently they have fucking insanely underpaid people in their company.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it, or you want me to?
I can read it if you want. Do you want to make it slightly bigger because I can't see?
It'll only take 5 minutes for the computer to respond. I'm so sorry, everybody. I will make sure my laptop is charged by the time we start the show next time.
Back to being 13 and waiting there for a YouTube video to download for ages.
God, sorry, everybody.
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are being sued by a former intern, Shahista Lalani, who says that she was she was overworked with no pay while working for the twins' licensing and manufacturing company, Dual Star Entertainment, in 2012. The class action lawsuit, which alleges wage theft, says the 29-year-old celebs failed to pay about 40 past and present interns who have worked for them, according to the New York Post. Lalani says she worked 50 hours a week with no pay and did not receive college credit for her time as an intern. What is this? I have to say, I am absolutely appalled. And as I worked in TV, I was in that situation where people were offering me weeks. They were like, you can just week. It's work experience. You don't know. You're just so inexperienced. You need to learn for free. And I was so stupid that I was like, oh my God, what an opportunity. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And like, I was such an idiot.
I got college credit, but that means that I'm paying to be here, actually. So I would work at the news station for hours, and I would be paying them to give me college credit for it. And yeah, it just really, it's unfair to people who can't afford to not work. That's who it hurts, really. You know, if you have to choose between an internship and a job, and you're not in the position to be able to take an unpaid internship, like, you're going to fall behind. And, you know, I was lucky enough to be able to have enough loans that I could, you know, cover it. But it's really toxic. It's changing now. But when I was in school, they could treat you like dog shit, and it was fine. They were like, oh, it's all about experience.
Yeah. And I think the internships in general, like, I just don't understand the concept of unpaid internships. I just feel like it's the absolute most abhorrent thing that has ever been created. It's just like, let's take this talented young person that we know can do the job, and let's just not pay them for it. Let's just use them for hours and hours and hours on end every single day.
Yeah, unpaid labor.
And we're just not gonna give them any money for it. They can just fucking rot if we, like, it doesn't. When I had like a budget and I worked with people, not a single person was unpaid. Not a single person. Like, even a person that came on to just take photographs for like a couple of hours, even that person was paid. And I could have done this. I could have very easily been like, because my budget was a lot smaller than most companies that were getting like commissions and stuff. I could
Yeah.
have very easily been like, I have a very bad budget and stuff like that. But I just could not. I could not bring myself to do it.
Yeah, it's unfair. It's not okay. And I definitely hope it's in the past now. Like the 2012 is when they're talking about it happening. That's when I was doing these internships and going through that as well. So I think now there's a law. I don't know if it's national or if it's only in certain states, but you can't have an intern do the job of a paid employee. It has to be a separate program, like it's either you pay the intern and they can do the work, or it's unpaid and they have to be in more of like a program that's meant to teach you something, and you're not working, you're just going through a program at the company. I think that's a change now. Yeah.
Still needs to be paid even for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate this so much because so many companies rely on this. Like they like this is a labor force that they use. Young people who are talented, who are just out of school, who are like
Who are hungry.
They have like fresh information they literally just learned, and they're just exploiting them in so many ways. And I cannot I can't believe like people like this and Mary Kate, and I'm sure that this is the case with most corporations, that they can actually afford it but they just want profit.
Yeah.
But it sucks when you see someone like them who have so much money
Yeah.
that they're not paying an intern the minimum wage. They can't pay them like $10 an hour or whatever that is.
I know. Like, what is that? What is that? I don't get it. Why are people, the richest people, cheapest people sometimes? I don't understand.
Just money hungry, I swear to God.
Sabrina, we feel for you.
We're sorry.
Quit. I don't know.
I'm so sorry. Please quit. Please get a paid job.
But it's tough. If like that's how it works. Like,
you paid them? Oh my God.
Seems like a bad idea, but if you're already in it, man, I don't know. Get as much as you can out of it.
Look, just get what you can and then move to a very well paid job.
Yeah. For real. Seriously. I mean, there was internships in New York City and like LA, for national, like CNN or even Atlanta too, or, ABC News and stuff that I would love to have done, but you have to pay for yourself to live in New York for the whole summer. I'm like, I can't fucking do that. Like, I'm barely affording my dorm room in the town I'm in. Like, that's where it starts to go. You have opportunities because your parents are helping you, or you have, support somehow. And that's what separates the lower income student from someone who has extra income on the side from taking better opportunities. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And the stress that comes with not being able to afford life is insane. Put such a big... I've been through some stuff because of that. It's just like very stressful, and you can't necessarily focus on the things that you have to do because you are constantly like, oh my God, how am I going to survive this month? Or like, just stuff like that is absolutely awful. And yeah.
But a self-help person would say that's what you have to do. You got to put the hustle in to
Gary Vee would be like, you know what, you know who I want? I don't want to be a trust fund baby. I want to be poor again.
That's the best thing to be, is poor.
Oh my God. Oh God. And they have people convinced that this is true, and like, I just
Yeah, I agree. It's stupid.
The intern never worked directly for Mary Kate or Ashley Olsen, but says they were nice to her. In the suit, Lilani says she reported to the head technical designer for the Olsen's high fashion label, The Row, for 5 months. 5 months! Almost half a year. And not get paid?
Yeah, that's crazy.
The former intern has called her boss very demanding. This is the thing. This is what gets me angry too. Because they're not even like
nice to
easy jobs. They're not even like just sit there and look. They're not even just like observe.
No.
They make you work. And in TV, they would make people work for like 16 hours a day.
Yeah. I believe it. It's fucked up.
Oh, God.
It's because we accept it, I guess. It's like, this is how it is. Our parents, I shouldn't say my parents said that's how it is. They never said don't do it. They're like, that's how life works. So you go, okay, that's what the teachers told me in high school. Oh, you have to do this. This is how it works. Okay. The college professor said this is how it works. Okay. So I accepted it because I thought there was no other way. I wanted to be successful, so I'll just up. But it's like, it doesn't have to be this way. It could change if we all collectively said no more. Something would have to change.
Yeah, and the thing is, I feel like, at least when it comes to my experience, I always asked for pay. Well, not on that 1 week thing, but my dad was always like, "So what are they offering you? Did you tell them how much your bills are?"
That's good.
I mean, like,
That's good advice.
well, it was like, it is good advice, but at the same time, like, they weren't offering me, so I was just there being like embarrassed, being like, no, I'm not getting anything, like, but oh gosh, I had a point. Sorry, I lost my point. Oh, damn it.
I'm
Never
still
mind.
trying to figure out why I brought up affirmative action 2 weeks ago. I have no idea. I don't understand where my brain was going. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're forgiven.
No, I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Okay. What part were we at? The quote part here. I was doing the work of 3 interns part, so we stopped.
I was doing the work of 3 interns, Lalani said. I was talking to her all day, all night. Emails at nighttime for the next day, like 10 p.m. at night. It was like 100 degrees outside. I'd just be sweating to death. I probably carried like 50 pounds worth of trench coats. According to court paper obtained by the Post, Lalani says her other work included inputting data into spreadsheets, making text sheets, running personal errands for paid employees, organizing materials, photocopying, sewing, pattern cutting, amongst other related duties. There's so much work.
Yeah.
When we weren't doing something, they'd be like, organize the buttons in the back by color code,
God.
says Lalani, who says that at one point she was hospitalized for dehydration.
Jesus.
Oh my God. I'm so glad she's suing them.
Yeah. Good.
You're cleaning. You don't get a 15-minute break. Oh my God. If you have time to lean, you have time to clean? Oh my God. Really? Like, is this how cliche they were?
Yes.
You just go with their crazy flow. You just got caught up in the pressure. You're like an employee, except you're not getting paid, she added. They're kind of mean to you. Other interns have cried. I'd see a lot of kids crying during coffee runs for the copying stuff. Lalani does, however, said she never directly worked for the Olsens, but found them nothing but pleasant towards her when she saw them occasionally at meetings. Yeah, because they're not working with her
I was going to
on
say,
a daily
yeah,
basis.
they should be
right?
pleasant. What do they have to do? They get the money and the profits from you working there for free.
Yeah, they don't need to be unpleasant. They have employees who are unpleasant to you for them.
Yeah, you can still commit, not a crime necessarily, but you could still be a horrible owner of a company and be pleasant.
You can still have people that you don't pay and just have their managers be mean. You don't have to be mean.
It makes you look great.
Yeah. They're really nice people, Lani says. They were never mean to anyone. They're business people. Yeah, exactly. They were never mean to anyone except to you and all the other interns indirectly.
Yeah, the culture starts with the owners, whether people believe that or not. I think so. Like, if you're so far out of, if they're at meetings and stuff, they should know what company culture they're cultivating, and it is their responsibility to keep it in check. So I do feel like they are responsible.
Of course, but the pressure comes from up above.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from the direct. It does come from the direct manager in terms of the manager will be telling them what they need to do, but that manager has pressure put on them by the one above, and the one above by the one above, and so on, and it does get to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's coming from, because they would be, what would happen? They would do things like, oh, we need to come up with a collection in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, that's not enough time. Well, that's all we have. Or and that's
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 reality.
it. And it just like makes an entire company of people having to work overtime and having to work super hard because 6 weeks is not enough time. That's kind, you know what I mean? That's kind
Yeah.
of how it starts, and it starts with them accepting things like that, or even starting things like that.
You know what this reminds me of? And I talked about it on my channel last week or 2 weeks ago. You know, are you familiar with Bethany Frankel?
No, I don't think.
She was one of the Real Housewives from that franchise, but she owns Skinny Girl, the brand that's like cocktails that are diet cocktails and diet popcorn and whatever. She had a reality show in 2021 where she was hiring her VP of operations, and it's sort of like apprentice style where they have to do all these challenges, and by the end one of the people are hired. Bethany herself was so fucking mean to all of the contestants, like to the point of they were crying, they were having like meltdowns because she was just telling them that they were like the worst people possible. But then later she'd come and apologize, or she would say like, it's not that big of a deal. But like, you know, the one girl was one woman on the show was crying, and she's like, why are you crying? Like, just on, and think about it, you're on national TV, like everyone knows you're on the show, and then Bethany is just like ripping you a new one. She's like, this is how it is in my company. It's like, you're the one making it that way. It's like, you don't have to be a super bitch to people. You're choosing that you don't, that's not the only way to success, I don't think. And if it is, then I don't want to be successful, because that's a horrible way to treat people that are trying to be, you know, helpful to you.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like most people who make some money and just get into business just become these power hungry, you know, animals, and then they start to show the worst things.
Yeah, I was very turned off. I mean, I didn't like her really to begin with, and then I saw that show and I watched the whole thing. I was like, oh my God, like you just look not a good boss. Like you just have to be like that.
For some reason, people really get off on that, because that's the case with like Dave Ramsey, right? Like the whole thing was like, you're gonna come on his show and he's gonna scream at you that you're stupid and that you're an idiot, and like people get off on it for some reason. I don't understand it at all.
Power. Yeah, it's a power trip for sure. And I think and this might be me being sexist against women, so I'm sorry in advance. But you know, when you feel like maybe you have more to prove, like you're a real boss babe, because you know you're not the typical CEO because you are female, you're a woman, so you become even more like mean and vicious and like cutthroat because you're trying to prove like you can hang out with like the other CEOs. I wonder if that happens, because I don't know if every CEO, you know, Dave Ramsey obviously a man, but like if every CEO is so mean, but the ones that are women tend to, at least the ones that get shows, tend to be very harsh. And I wonder if that's sort of like a psychological
I think that's why
thing.
they get selected for those shows.
That's true.
They have, because when I was working in TV and we were having to pitch like not necessarily documentaries, but like entertainment stuff, and when I would write pitches like that, you had to come up with like different talent is what I would call them, and oftentimes you look for something different that they have, because you need to please your boss. You need to go to your boss and give them something to like, and you know, you have to, the stronger the character, the personality, the more likely is that they want them on TV.
Yeah, true.
So that they get selected, and I think obviously it does skew the perception, because that's not what I'm sure there's like millions of companies out there that have like perfectly decent people at the top who don't exploit their employees and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But like we watched like Elizabeth Holmes, you know, and like how she was, and I don't think she was like, well, I think she was cutthroat, but like, you know, she was the female billionaire, so that persona, she had to live up to it, and putting all that pressure on herself to be this like savant, the first ever female, you know, startup leader, I think it might get to their head in like a negative way, like, oh, they have to be the one to make the whole female, you know, gender better or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just too much pressure. They go nuts. I have no idea. That's just
Yeah,
a theory.
it's certainly. It for sure goes to people's heads. Can you imagine being given that much money and just? I, I can't even fathom. Like,
Yeah.
of course, you start to think. Now, Elizabeth, had she come out to say that she's a genius and all that stuff, I would give her more credit for it than Kanye. I'm like, Kanye, where did you get this? Because you're a
Yeah.
dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
exactly who told you that you're a genius and you believed it? Because damn it, they were mocking you.
Yeah. Someone believed it, but I ain't. I am not.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. So, did we finish this article?
no.
A spokesperson for the Olsen company told the Post that Dualstar was not aware of the lawsuit but declined to comment. Huh?
Not aware.
What? Oh, we don't know if there's a lawsuit. Maybe. Sure. I mean, which one are you talking about?
Yeah, which lawsuit?
We have a lot.
We have many ongoing litigations.
They founded this when they were 6 years old. What the hell?
Dualstar. Yeah, that makes sense.
Are you even allowed to have a company at the age of 6?
Apparently.
Like, you're not allowed to have a driver's license until 16.
They took over on their 18th birthday as co-presidents.
They're like, you're not allowed to drive, but should you want to have a lot of employees and be responsible for them, that we will allow.
When they were 6 years old, they're like, no, interns don't need money. And that's stuck.
We'll just give them candy. In 2004, on their 18th birthday, the sisters took over as co-presidents. They are now co-chief executive officers and of the privately held firm, which has produced movies, TV shows, magazines, and video games, according to Women's Wear. Women's Wear. Okay, thank you, Women's Wear, for your input.
Thanks, Women's Wear.
Later, the twins' business efforts also included clothes, shoes, purses, hats, books, CDs and cassette tapes, fragrances and makeup, magazines, video and board games, dolls, posters, calendars, telephones, and CD players.
I had it all. I had them all. Not really.
Jesus.
I had some of it.
Okay, we were always hard workers as kids, Mary Kate told WWD in 2013. It's just the way we are, the way we were raised. Our work ethic was everything and that never left us. We like to work hard and we like to try to do everything 100%. In fact, it's almost impossible for us not to. Sometimes you succeed and sometimes not so much, but it's learning. Huh? What does this have to do with the lawsuit?
Okay. Now it's just like a... Yeah.
Thanks, Mary Kate. That was irrelevant.
Now we're in the part of the article, they're just talking about, like, their accomplishments. Like, okay. Sort of off topic, but on topic with the Olsen twins. Do you ever see the Oprah clip of them?
No.
Oh my God. That's one of the reasons why Oprah, I think, is a little controversial, I'll say. And I think Oprah overall, I stan Oprah. However, when it comes to platforming all the self-help people and all the goofy, Tony Robbins, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz people, James Arthur Ray, like she needs to apologize. But this one, in addition to that, what she needs to apologize for, or should kind of like at least like take some responsibility. This interview in particular was pretty bad, I think, personally.
Let's see it.
We're back to slow internet, so bear with me, everybody. Let's see. Okay, this is from 2004. It's probably gonna be an ad because I'm on our account.
It is okay to be so stressed and overwhelmed.
Thank you, random lady on YouTube. Okay, here we go. The controversial part is when Oprah's like talking about their weight. So
God.
So let's skip this part. I think it might be around here. She's like, you guys are, I forget what she says exactly. I'll let her say it. Mercy, Oprah.
If I told you that there was a try.
Sorry. Hopefully this isn't too boring.
We got claimed.
Yeah. Damn it. We just gotta wait now.
I did think about it because I know that OWN
Oprah
claims everything. Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. Well, let me find the one that like.
We were not even on OWN?
No. Well, I mean, that
got
was
claimed by someone else?
Well, it probably was because the clip is from Oprah's thing. It'll come back. I guess this is the one where it breaks it down anyways.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Susan Morad right back here on
Hold on. It'll come back.
Clever News. And fans are furious after an old Oprah interview resurfaced on TikTok where she mocks teenage Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen about their clothing size.
World-renowned former daytime talk show host Oprah Winfrey is under fire after a 2004 interview surfaced in which she blatantly asks actresses Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen about their clothing size. The interview appeared on TikTok when the account 2000s Hollywood shared a cringe-worthy clip as the twin sister child stars, who were just 17 years old at the time, appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show and addressed the rumors surrounding Mary-Kate's eating disorder. Later that year, she did end up checking into rehab to undergo treatment for the disorder. However, it was clearly something she was deeply struggling with at the time, which angered fans even more hearing how Oprah handled the situation.
Are they gonna fucking play the clip or no? Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oprah started off the interview by asking, quote, "I know a new rumor that's recently surfaced has really upset you, right? You know, the one about eating?" Ashley was quick to step in and address the rumors, saying, quote, "Yeah, you know, people are gonna write what they're gonna write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just comes with the territory. Either you're too fat, too skinny, and
I guess they're not gonna show it because they don't want to get claimed either. Unless they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay.
just comes with the territory." Before she could even finish, Oprah chimed in with another question that made both Mary-Kate and Ashley visibly uncomfortable. Take a look.
Okay. All right. So we'll wait till everyone's coming back. Is anyone here?
Get a life.
Why are they writing this with like quotation marks? Everything has quotations.
What do you mean?
Do you not see the chat?
Hey. I don't know.
What is the quotation?
You're back. Okay, we're back. Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
You just caught me asking kiddo.
Sorry.
Woo!
If you just wait long enough, we'll always come back for you.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so to not have that issue come up again, we're just going to skip right to it, to the controversial part. This is like a report on the interview. So we'll get to it and then we'll just get to it faster. All right, here we go.
What size are you, by the way?
Size?
Yeah, I always like to know.
I'm really sure.
You're not sure?
Girls and, you know.
That's so interesting.
After Oprah appeared to seemingly sarcastically mock them about not knowing their clothing size, the audience broke out into a wave of laughter. But fast forward many years later, and the interview has since been labelled as problematic and damaging to a young woman's image. Fans immediately began posting comments about how insensitive it was of Oprah to ask such a personal question in the first place, especially knowing what Mary-Kate was going through at the time. One user pointed out, Ashley answering for Mary-Kate because she knew she was uncomfortable. Another fan said, "I know we're living in a different time, but how did they think this was okay? Because they're young?" Other fans chimed in on Twitter, like this user who tweeted, "I can't imagine being blindsided on live TV about my body size as an adult, never mind at 17, when it's publicly suspected I have an eating disorder, aka a severe and deadly mental illness. That was a real thing to do." And this person added, Oprah...
Basically, what Oprah did, she said, so there's a rumor going around that you have some issues with food. And they said, oh, well, you know, here, I'll play that part. We'll go back a second.
At the time, appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show and addressed the rumors surrounding Mary-Kate's eating disorder. Later that year, she did end up checking into rehab to undergo treatment for the disorder. However, it was clearly something she was deeply struggling with at the time, which angered fans even more hearing how Oprah handled the situation. Oprah started off the interview by asking, quote, "I know a new rumor that's recently surfaced has really upset you, right? You know, the one about eating?" Ashley was quick to step in and address the rumors, saying, quote, "Yeah, you know, people are gonna write what they're gonna write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just comes with the territory. Either you're too fat, too skinny, and people are just gonna write what they..." But before she could even finish, Oprah chimed in with another question that made both Mary-Kate and Ashley visibly uncomfortable. Oprah...
So that was it.
That was sarcastic. What was that?
So interesting. Yeah,
You
I don't know.
know your size.
So that was the whole thing. Basically,
As
they're
if
like,
that was relevant. Like, what does it matter?
Oprah goes there. She asks women, do they have eating disorders? She's a good interviewer. I mean, she's not a bad interviewer, but she's I don't know. I think at the time it's like she was one of the best because she does have like a very natural approach, but I think looking back, she crossed the line a lot on her show with stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
It's easy to look back now and go, oops, that was insensitive.
Yeah. I think it's definitely interesting, but I don't know. I feel like once you're like on TV for a long time, like who knows what you said, you know, like
So
I
many
wonder
episodes.
if we're gonna get caught ourselves like in when the culture changes and something and go back
Oh yeah,
listen to
definitely.
Cringe-Fluencers.
100%.
It'll be like a million things, but like
Yeah,
I don't know. I think we are definitely like trying very hard to just be as respectful as we can. And it's just, I guess, you know, that has to count to some extent. That's the only thing that makes me feel okay with like talking about things on the internet, just the fact that I know I'm not trying to like hurt anyone with my comments or anything, except for the self-help industry.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's true for me. I feel like I'm definitely crossing, you know, respect territory, but it's like, well, it's how I feel. So I'm just expressing that and I'm not hiding behind a keyboard. My face is out here. My, you know, my channel's here. I never will block a comment. So that's how I sort of justify it. I don't think it's necessarily right, but it's how I can express myself and feel okay about it. Like accepting the responsibility that it is probably going to hurt somebody if they heard what I was to say about them.
Yeah. But I think it's more. I think there's a difference because you're not going in trying to hurt their feelings as like, you know, none of us is ever like insulting people or like whatever. We always just kind of talk about what people say and what they do, and in the sense that like we have an opinion on some things and we find that some tactics or strategies that they use are not okay and stuff like that. But I don't think any of us has ever gone on camera and been like, do you think Rachel is like skinny, or how skinny is she, like, you know, he's not as skinny as she was, or like, you know, just I don't think we're not about stuff that is personal in that way, if that makes sense.
I agree. I don't think I try my best not to talk about like looks necessarily. I'll talk about like what someone wears in the sense of like, okay, if I was paying money to see you in person, did you just come with bicycle shorts on and look like you don't care? You know, like a sign of respect type of thing. Like you're showing up to this event that cost $100 and you're wearing like this very casual outfit. Like, I could see how that could be taken wrong. But I don't know. I try not to be like, oh, ugly, or oh, bad, or oh, that hair, that whatever. Yeah, I try my best not to, because unless it's, you know, for some deeper purpose. But again, we're just humans, okay? We're humans. We cannot be judged because we're humans.
Exactly. I'm a human. Dave is on my side. Dave loves humans.
He loves humans. He is a human as well.
Oh my God.
Little
look
known
at
fact.
that. Stop. No. He's a god.
He's a god among men.
He's a god, and Rachel's a goddess amongst women.
I think
so-
they're going to get back together. I again will say that. That's my prediction. They will rekindle their romance.
Oh God. The thing is, I feel like I think based on the lack of knowledge I have of the relationship, I think that Rachel called it off for whatever reason. And I think once she's over that and she just gets sick of Boothang, she wants to go back to Dave. And I think the minute she says, "Let's get back together," Dave will jump at it.
I agree. I think that's the ultimate trajectory, honestly.
Yeah. I just don't know if I think she has a lot of pride. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I think when her bank account starts needing that
But he
best-selling
does
book.
not work for Disney anymore.
No, but like if they got back together, that is a profitable story to tell, I think. Like they can have relationship conferences again and say, "Look, we went through divorce and got back together." That's why you should listen to us now.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because the thing is, I think she probably was like very offended by Dave's relationship with Heidi, and it's so public, like every single thing they do, that I just don't know. I think her pride will be like the reason why they're not together.
Yeah. I think that would be a book worth reading to the general public. Like, we got divorced publicly. We both had scandals. We decided to get back together because we understand relationships, and then they would capitalize and go back to what they were doing. But now with this renewed, like, we've gone through the hardest of the hard and we've come back stronger than ever. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a business idea that if they were thinking clearly about like only the business, like they were not caring about their kids, caring about, which, you know, whatever. Like, I don't think they consider them very much in their decisions, honestly. But, you know, if they were
Poor
like
kids, seriously.
Yeah, like let's make some money, babe. Like that would be a way to do it, I think, personally.
Man, oh,
she can fix him. That's the thing. She can fix Dave's problems as long as they're together. She can fix them. She can prove that she's. Well, she's. Someone said she's already talked so much trash about him already. Yeah, but she is the ultimate coach. So she just needs to get Dave on board with the coaching that she has to offer, and then they could be together.
And Dave is the ultimate like self-help victim. So
yeah, he's all into it. So he'll be like, yes.
He's well brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
I think so too. I just think it'll take a while until Rachel gets over her pride. Thank you guys for that. I love it too. It's so cute.
That is cute.
It's
Do a
really
turn.
cute.
Do a turn.
Did that work?
Love it. It's only 2 minutes delayed, so it's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
sorry about the lag, everybody. That's my fault.
Sorry.
Blame me.
But thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, sticking through it.
Hi, Savvy.
Savvy's been behind. She's been delayed.
Yeah, but thanks guys for being here. Yeah, I'm glad we do this.
Yeah. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. We'll be back next week again.
Yes. Wait, no. Wait, there's something else in between that we need to announce.
What?
And Savvy and RK are both here.
Oh yeah.
We're planning a collab, a live stream collab with your. Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
it's happening.
hear-
Oh, very soon. I don't remember what day we said.
I forgot. I was like in travel mode when we were texting about it. So I was like, I'll just defer to Cam on whenever I need to be there. So
I think we said Halloween, if I'm not
on
mistaken.
Monday? Or-
Halloween, but I don't. I need to find the chat. I don't remember. Anyways, you guys, we're gonna announce it. Are you following us on Instagram? Because I think Instagram is where I speak about all the things. So check us out on Instagram, because I think that's probably where we're gonna let people know a day in advance, most probably. So it's likely that it will be Halloween. I think we said Halloween. Oh,
Perhaps.
RK, if you're not behind, can you tell us what we said?
He defers to Savvy. I defer to you. And also, if you didn't know, Cam's name on Instagram now is Camellia Strawberry.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm Cam. Cam Strawberry. Thank you.
I'm trying to pull it up, but it's taking so long.
I don't know why the strawberry looked like. It's cute and it's red.
I thought you'd go with the lips. I thought you were a lips girl.
Maybe I should do the lips. I
Yeah.
just feel like that's too sexy. Like it's too flirty. Like everyone will think I'm like trying to kiss them.
Yeah, probably. I didn't even, I went to find your name today and I didn't recognize your photo because it's a new photo. I was like, who is this? And it's a strawberry?
New.
Yeah.
It's a new me. Thank
New
you.
New year, new you. Actually, same
New.
year, new you.
Same year, new country, new me.
Yes. There it is. There's Camellia. So follow her for all of our scheduling purposes.
Yeah. Follow me and obviously follow Kia's World, of course.
Of course.
And RK and Savvy.
Yes. And bluntforce.monate.com.
Maybe I should put the kiss on. Maybe that would be more obvious who
Maybe
I
you
am.
could put strawberry kisses. I don't know.
Strawberry kisses?
I don't know. You could have both.
Oh, you mean like just make it a full boss babe
A sparkle.
thing? Okay.
I like it. Can I say a comment about my Instagram? No one has
Yes, please.
commented and thinks what I said was funny in my bio. Not one person has mentioned it, and I'm very upset. It took me like several, thought
It's
processes.
so blurry.
It is?
I can't see it.
Oh. Sorry.
So maybe that's why.
Maybe it's just blurred. Enneagram 69. I think that's a good joke.
What is it? Can you read it? Because I don't see it. It's blurred.
It just says hater talking about self-help, blah, blah, blah. But I put Enneagram 69, which is like Enneagram, everyone's got like their Enneagram number.
Yeah.
And I said
Yeah.
Enneagram 69 and like no one gives a shit.
Why would they?
Because it's funny.
You have so many more followers than me. 800 more. That's crazy.
That's because
This
I
is not
live
okay,
and
guys.
breathe on
Unfollow
Instagram.
Kia, please. Thank you.
Unfollow me. I live and breathe on Instagram, baby.
You do. Yeah.
I do. I deserve it, okay?
Unfollow me.
Enneagram 69. What's that personality trait?
Super sexy. All the time.
Constantly oral. Very vocal.
Very vocal. Is willing to get into various positions. I don't know. Flexible.
Love that. I love it. I will follow.
I think on one of the episodes we should do an Enneagram test for each other, and we should do a human design chart.
Oh yes, please. Human design. I don't even know what that is, but Enneagram sounds amazing.
Yes. Human design, all you need to know is, so ask your parents where you were born, like the longitude and latitude of it, basically, like what city and what time you were born and what day, obviously. But those are the only two important things.
I know the day. I don't know if I know the time. I'm gonna have to ask my mom.
You gotta ask because that can change your entire personality.
Everything.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, my personality is so fickle. Like, what if I was born like 10 minutes earlier?
You could be a manifesting. No, you could be a manifester or a manifesting generator or a generator or a reflector, depending on what hour you were born. So, you got to know those exact minutes. That's the rarest one of them all.
Oh my.
So you might be one of those, but I think we should do the tests.
Okay, let's do it. I think that would be fun.
Okay.
I do tend to sort of love the flattery that comes with like horoscopes, and I'm like,
yeah,
because I'm a Leo and everything's like, oh my god, Leo, you're Maine, and I'm like, thank you.
You're Maine. Is that the lion? You're lying.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I spend a lot of money on shampoo, so I'm very happy when they compliment my hair.
Very
so.
Leo of you.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you guess my sign is?
You? Wait.
Yeah.
You're Gemini.
Yeah. Did you know that or?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't believe in horoscope.
No, I don't either. I'm afraid. But I'll tell you what's interesting. In Romania, I might have told this. I think I told this story a lot, probably when I was drunk to people. But in Romania, you get your news in the morning on TV. You get you get the news, you get the weather, you get the sports, and you get horoscope.
That's weird.
You're American. What? Let's not talk about weird here.
True. I mean, people believe here for sure, and it's in the newspaper, but on the TV news, there's no horoscope.
News.
Yeah.
Daily.
Interesting. They go through all 12.
They have an expert astrologist who will just quickly go through it very quickly, like a 2-3 minute thing. But it's like such a bizarre thing. Like, how can you do news, weather, sports, and then suddenly pseudoscience? Like, let's just start your day off on the right pseudoscientific foot.
I've had arguments, or like not arguments. I don't really argue back because, like, I want to respect people, but like they'll tell me like, oh, it's very scientific. Like they do, they're looking at different moons and different. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't mean that I'm a nice person or a not nice person or that I'm gonna get a gift tomorrow. I don't care where the moon is. Like, it doesn't change what you're telling people. Like, how does that translate into, oh, well, a secret admirer will call you tomorrow? It's like,
I had this pal who believed so much in this spiritual astrological shit that she was wearing a crystal in her bra at all times. She's a nurse. What, you just put a crystal in your bra while you're taking care of your patients?
Yeah, because then the energy will emanate, so they're actually healed. They're not healed by the medicine she's giving them. They're healed by the crystal in her boob.
Yeah.
Her boob crystal. I tried to freaking get into crystals. I did. I gave it a full faith effort, and I was like, this is so dumb. I'm sorry. Like, I think they're beautiful, and like if you want to have them on display, great. But like people are like, no, this is helping me. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not helping you.
I wish they helped because I have dealt with so much depression that anything would have, but I tell you, nothing has ever helped aside from medication. So.
Yeah. And just believing it away, willing it away.
Yeah, the believing didn't do it for me. Thank you.
Let's see.
But
actually, hold on. Yeah.
Talking about depression, I do want to announce, everybody, I'm in therapy.
Yay! Hold on. I already knew that, but.
Yes, thank you. I suddenly feel a lot stronger and a lot more capable. I just had my
Now
first
healed.
session today.
The first day is always hard because it's like, where do I even begin? Where do I even start to tell you why I'm here?
Oh God, I told her everything. I'm like, every minute counts.
True. That is true. You gotta really like get all you can when you only have limited sessions.
Yeah. I only get 6 free sessions, so we'll talk again in 2 months. It might be in a completely different spot. Maybe I'll be completely fucked up.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm just kidding.
If I'm not already, I'm pretty fucked up already, so it's all good. It's fine.
No.
It can't go any lower than that now.
Well, that's a good place to start. Rock bottom.
Exactly. The only way out is up.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm looking up our Leo and Gemini compatible. Okay.
They are actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It says both signs value passion and excitement with the person they love, and they're an excellent match for each other. Geminis can come up with an endless number of creative ideas to keep the relationship fun and exciting, and Leos will give those ideas their enthusiastic support.
You
Is
are
that true?
welcome.
Do you support my ideas?
Absolutely, 100%.
Good.
All of them.
We're both extremely outgoing, and they love...
Extremely?
That's what it says. They love
We're
finding new
YouTubers.
activities. True.
How outgoing can we be?
True. We get along in work in most cases. I am smart and creative, but they can be prone to self-doubt, which makes it hard for them to move forward with their great ideas. Leos, however, are brimming with self-confidence and will get fully behind Gemini's ideas. And you will naturally take a leadership role in this partnership, but not so much that it causes conflict. Additionally, both are naturally outgoing and likable, which makes them a dream team for networking events.
Did I tell you that horoscope is flattering?
I feel good.
I feel great reading the horoscope. I'm like, I hope this is true, guys.
Oh, however, it says here's advice for you. When with a Gemini, remember to be open to their ideas as well. Okay, that's your advice.
I thought I was.
I don't know. No. It's changed in this paragraph.
Did they not just say that I was open?
And then my advice is, if I leave a Leo behind, it'll damage your relationship, often irreparably. So I can't leave you behind.
You cannot leave me. No, please. Now I have the self-doubt. Damn it.
Isn't there anybody in any relationship, if I left you behind, that it could damage the relationship?
I think so. I left my ex behind. Guess what? We're not on good terms anymore.
Wow. What a Leo thing of you to do.
I know.
Okay. Well, we got streams coming up. We got collabs coming up. We got tests to take. We got therapy to do. We're going to come back new people every week. And we can't wait for you to be there for it.
I
Tarot's
know
here.
I know this much mathematics now.
That's good. It's more than I know.
Yeah, it's not very good for exam session, but we'll deal with that when it comes to it.
Exams, shams.
Yeah.
Expose exams. They actually don't teach you anything.
Oh my God, they teach you so much. It's fucking insane. I wish they didn't teach me anything because I would be behind. But thank you for today. This was great.
Tara, what's your sign? Yes, thank you. I think Tara, I don't know what Tara's sign is. She was born, I got her 9 months in, and I got her in February. So that would be, what's February minus 9 months?
Because if she was a baby, she would have been 9 months in the womb.
No, I got her 9, okay. No, that doesn't take 9 months for cats.
But that's what I mean, if she's a human. This only counts for humans.
Oh, cats
so
can have signs.
February would be
January, December.
Like Capricorn
November,
or Aquarius.
Wait, October. Hold on. September. August. July, June. May. So May. Okay, what's the...
Also Gemini.
That's true. No, I'm June. So May would be May.
But it starts... Oh my God.
That's a whole rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. Rabbit hole?
Yeah.
To go down? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
right.
bye
That's
everyone.
sweet. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
It's
Have
been
a good
fun.
week.
Peace.
Peace and light.
Peace and light. Love and light. Bye.
Bye.